Hi, we're going to take a brief interlude today from looking at evilbible.com, partly because I just haven't had the time to prepare the next study. I just want to show you from the New Testament what Jesus Christ did with a woman who was caught in adultery. And you can argue till the cows come home over the morality involved in this. It doesn't really matter. It certainly doesn't interest me. But I just want to have a look at how Jesus dealt with the woman and with the men who were accusing her, and you might be quite surprised at what you find. So let's get into the Bible now. Okay, so we're back at BibleGateway.com, and we're at John chapter 8 in the New Testament, and let me just get you on, there we go. So we're starting here at verse 3, and it says, "The teachers of the law and the Pharisees brought a woman caught in adultery. They made her stand before the group and said to Jesus, Teacher, this woman was caught in the act of adultery." Now let's just stop there and notice the first thing is there's no mention of a man, and I'm sure it takes a man and a woman to be caught in the act of adultery. And so here we see the religious Jews are picking on a woman and letting the man off scot-free. And then they say in the this woman was caught in the act of adultery. In the law of Moses, commanded us to stone such a woman. Now what do you say? They were using this question as a trap in order to have a basis for accusing him. Now listen to this. This is really important. Jesus bent down and started to write on the ground with his finger. When they kept on questioning him, he straightened up and said to them, "If any of you is without sin, let him be the first to throw a stone at her." Again he stooped down and he wrote on the ground. And at this, those who heard began to go away, one at a time, the older ones first. That's quite significant because they're the wise ones. They knew that Jesus had got them. I'm going to show you how he got them in a minute. So they went away one at a time, the older ones first, until only Jesus was left with the woman still standing there. Jesus straightened up and asked her, "Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?" "No one, sir," she said. "Then neither do I condemn you," Jesus declared. "Now go and leave your life of sin." Jesus saved this woman's life. He saved her life. So the accusation that God approves of rape in the Bible and he oppresses women and so on, Jesus just saved her life. Now let's have a look at the significance of Jesus writing in the dust. And we're now at Jeremiah chapter 17, and we need to go down to verse 13, which is here, and it says this: "O Lord, the hope of Israel, all who forsake you will be put to shame. Those who turn away from you will be written in the dust, because they've forsaken the Lord, the spring of living water." Remember, Jesus wrote on the dust, and the men began to walk away. And I believe that Jesus wrote the names of the men who were stood there just about to murder this woman, supposedly under the law of Moses of the Old Testament. So Jesus actually has just saved this woman's life, and he challenged the religious hypocrisy of the day. Some people obviously at the moment are really quite angry about the current controversy within the Catholic Church over the supposed cover-up and so on to do with child abuse, and rightly so. Of course. What would Jesus say to those people if he was here today? Do you think he might write the names in the dust? Jeremiah prophesied that those who turn away from the Lord will be written in the dust. Just have a think about that. Adam came from the dust, and so Jesus had restored this woman, and she was now in right relationship with God. And free, and Jesus said, "Go and sin no more." But Adam came from the dust, and so saying that those who forsake the Lord will return to the dust is to say that they've got nowhere to go. They will die and just be no more. In effect, they'll be blotted out, and that's it. And it was these religious hypocrites who had come to stone this woman to death, and had not brought the man to task for committing adultery. And let's be clear, adultery is wrong according to the Bible. But it was those people whose names Jesus wrote in the dust. He may even have written the sins that they'd committed. So Jesus had restored this woman's life and set her feet back upon the rock and in the right place with God, and her name wasn't written in the dust. So isn't that fantastic? Jesus actually saved her life. He protects women. My alarm's going off, I can't believe this. He protects women and he saves them and restores them. There's lots and lots of examples of this, Jesus dealing with prostitutes and demon-possessed women and so on in the New Testament. We'll look at them later, and I'll get back into evilbible.com in the next study. Thanks for listening.